So David, this isn't your first feature film. You made something else previously, didn't you?
Yes, yeah. I made quite a long time ago. I made a film called Flyfishing about male escorts, which was very funny and very silly, and it did very well in war zones actually.
Really?
Yep. So, I don't quite know why. I'm not sure if I'm proud of that fact, but it did do quite well in war zones, and it didn't get into cinemas in England, but it wasn't really a surprise because we sort of shot it in our own houses and stuff like that. But no, I'm very. Francis Barber was in it, Kate Ashfield, and Ben Price and Adam Crosdale, who you might have heard.
Right.
I think they're sort of. They're in kind of EastEnders and things like that.
Right. What did you learn from that whole experience? The big lesson that you learned that you took forward into Beyond the Pole.
Well, I should say that I run a company called Shooting Pictures, and we do lots and lots of comedy for companies and things like that. So I suppose fly fishing was kind of at the beginning of that learning curve.
Right.
And since then, I've made a living. I've actually made money at making films, which is sort of a really vital thing to do while you're making feature films, because I think it's quite hard to make money at.
So this is what kind of film is this? Isn't for like the cinema or for the BBC? Who's your market for these films that you're making?
For companies.
Yes.
Well, we would make we'd do something with Russell Brand, or we'd do something with Dom Jolly or Alistair McGowan, and it might be a product launch. They're like commercials, or very high end kind of funny product launches or something like that.
Right.
And they're great, and they make lots of money, and that's a lovely thing to do.
So without using the horrible word, they're kind of it's at the creative end of corporate work that is for large corporations, but you are using genuine comedy talent, and it really is at the bleeding edge of that kind of sector.
Well, I think a lot of corporates are creative actually.
Yeah.
Now. I think it's very, very high. I think corporate has kind of. Listen, 50 years ago, commercials were seen as a dirty word, and I think probably corporates have gone through that where they were seen as a dirty word, but they aren't now. I think basically people go where the money is sooner or later, and things might be changing a little now because the economic climate has changed, and marketing will hold on to its budget, whereas corporates might lose some money. But product launches and where we were, I think there'll still be six-figure budgets there. Right. And as everyone in this room knows, and certainly your last guest knows, you can do a lot with six figures. And I didn't go to film school, but while I made films for companies and things, I feel like I learnt my trade. Really.
Right. So did you use all of that stuff that you learned making those product launch films with comedians to kind of use all of that skill set to make what is effectively a comedy mockumentary?
To make Beyond the Pole, there's no way I could have made Beyond the Pole, 5 years ago. Beyond the Pole was, we shot this film on. Can I show the film we shot?
There you go. I'll get it close for you. There you go.
Very good.
Oh no, James, go the other quick.
Don't blow
there
it.
There you go.
On sale now. No, we made Beyond the Pole with a fantastic UK comedy cast. But we had to go to Greenland to make it. We shot it on floating sea ice, and it's all about the first carbon-neutral, vegetarian, organic expedition to the North Pole. And it's two kind of would-be do-gooders just coming into, catastrophic. They're catastrophically out of their depth, and they find themselves in the North Pole in polar bear country. And things, shit happens. So I couldn't have possibly have made that film 5 years ago because I just wouldn't have had the skills and have kind of had the mental strength and self-confidence to do that. Because in the end, you're leading a team of people, and they have to believe that you know what on earth you're doing, and also that that ultimately they're safe. Not that I was in charge of their safety. I got other guys. I brought in a safety team and stuff, but. Listen, as filmmakers, you need to get out there and find out where the money is, learn your trade, and hopefully then you can find a way to doing the stuff that you love.
Right, and because you'd worked with probably a lot of talent making these product launch films, where I'm guessing everyone was paid pretty well because it's that kind of gig.
Well, yeah, we would, to give you an idea, I mean, we would pay some of our talent, we paid 25 grand a day. You know,
Right.
so you pay them
Right.
properly, you know, real.
So then, you know, you're able to ring them 6 months later and say, hey, I'm making this low budget film, I need your help. Do you want to get involved and help?
I think that would have been great to do. I think what's more valuable than actually ringing those particular people is that you have a relationship with agents.
Right.
And they know that you're kosher and that you deliver and that you're a going concern. And if you ring them up and say, listen, I haven't got, you know, the big figures, but I have got a great script or I've got an interesting idea I want to try out, they'll be open to it. The door will be open. I'd be shocked if it wasn't after you've given them the amount of money we have. But no, shooting pictures has benefited from having a track record.
Yeah.